Test, check, 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 test, check, test, check, check, check. Check, 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 check. I'm gonna have my chats open just in case. Last week I streamed without video because I'm a buffoon. But that's fine. Hello and welcome. I want to welcome everybody online and in person who is here. The entire month of May, we've been looking at revolutions and twists and different ways of getting into poses that we haven't done before. And this week, it's the last week of the month. So, what we're going to do is I've kind of compiled my favorite of the poses and techniques throughout the flow. We're going to hit the 3 peak poses that we did this week. So that will be revolved triangle, revolved headstand, and then revolved Janu Shirsasana. But the reason that I wanted to work on revolutions and twists, especially for the month of May leading up into June is Pride Month. And I was just talking to somebody, and I've got a complicated relationship with Pride Month in that, as a trans person, I feel like I'm always kind of put on the front lines to plan, put on, execute different events. And really, what I wanted to focus on this month was how can I approach my different yoga postures? How can I approach any conflicts, any disagreements, any discomfort within my own life on and off the mat? And how can I approach it differently and twisted and revolved? I think your friend's here. We'll wait. We got one person walking in. Yeah. Hi, friend. We have a mat for you.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Do you want to? No, we can keep it cracked. It's gonna get a little warm. Good. How are you?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
Good.
Good.
So we just started. We're talking about this month, the month of May. We've worked on revolutions in our poses, twists, revolutions, and looking at our obstacles, those things that are holding us back, those situations, those people, and how can we approach these common situations from a different point of view? How can we revolve how we would normally approach a situation? How can we twist and maybe look upside down at something that's been standing in our way? That's what we will focus on this week and today. So, today we will start laying on our backs, actually. And what I want for you to do is can we take our hands, interlace them, and kind of bring them behind our head and just lower onto our back. And let's lift both of our knees into our chest. And just using the muscles in your core, can we drop our knees over to the left, keeping the upper body where it is? Once you're here, you can take those arms out long to a T on your side. And as you begin to arrive here on your mat, can you focus into your breath and where it's landing in your right side body and your left? And can you, in our first pose, set an intention for class? And perhaps the intention revolves around a change of perspective, balance, pushing through obstacles. Whatever that intention is, you can lock it in with a deep breath in and out. And if you're ready, where we will go is we're going to start with our right hand. Let's find our right hand. And we're going to bend the elbow so that our right fingertips touch onto our right shoulder blade or our right shoulder. And we're just going to drag our hand across the right collarbone, across the left collarbone, all the way down the left arm, and fully onto both of those hands smushed together. And just breathe here. And on your next inhale, can we begin to trace backwards and unwind up that left arm, that left collarbone, right collarbone, and all the way over. And we'll do that one more time. We will bend that elbow, right fingertips to right shoulder, across onto that right collarbone, the left collarbone, and down the left arm. Breathe here. And on your next inhale, we will unwind following that same line across the arm, left collarbone, right collarbone, and fully open. Can we bring our hands up through center, reclasp those fingers, maybe taking the other interlock, the uncomfortable one, bringing those hands behind that head, lifting those knees straight through center. Breathe here and reset, and then drop the knees over to the right. Once you're there, you can extend those arms out long to a T by your side. And breathe here and notice what's different in your left side body, what's different in your right, without judgment. And can we approach every pose today without judgment, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be, knowing that everything I offer today is only a suggestion. And the goal of yoga and the goal of today is just to move in an intuitive way that feels good to you. We can take those left fingertips, bend that left elbow, connect the fingertips to the left shoulder, and begin to trace down that left collarbone, the right collarbone, and down that right arm. And connect those hands and breathe. And from here, we can retrace backwards up that right forearm, that right bicep, right collarbone, and fully extended. And one more time, bend that elbow, trace along the top of your chest, all the way to that right arm. Breathe here. And on your next inhale, trace one more time down that forearm, bicep, collarbone, fully extend. You can bring your knees back up through center, plant those soles of your feet, and however you need, lift up to a nice, easy seat. Starting with our legs crossed, can we take our hands out to the side, palms to the sky, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we will twist to the right, so that left hand's going to connect to that right knee. That right arm's going to come behind us, and we're going to twist. On your inhales, can you get long through that spine? And exhale, can you make room to twist a little bit more? Now, without losing that twist, on your next inhale, can you just raise that right arm up to the sky? And exhale, we're going to take that right arm across our body. So we're doing a nice side bend through our right side. You should feel that in your right side body. And breathe. Look underneath that right armpit. Twist and breathe. On your next inhale, we'll come back up through center. Exhale, plant that right hand. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, and just allow yourself to feel what has happened. Hands come back out to the side. Palms to the sky. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Right hand connects to that left knee. Left hand behind us. Inhale, get tall through the spine. Exhale, make room to twist just a little bit deeper. Without losing that twist on our next inhale, can we lift that left arm to the sky? Exhale and side bend. Breathing here. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up through center. Exhale, plant that left hand behind you. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, Notice. Perfect. You guys are doing great. We're going to move to our hands and knees. And from here, what we will do is we will walk our hands forward about an inch and our knees back about an inch. Curl those toes, lift those hips, straighten through that back, press out of those shoulders, maybe bend those knees for your first down dog of the day. And here, can we begin to pedal out those feet? So bending one knee and straightening the other. And feel the stretch through the hamstring of the other leg. And switch the bending of those knees. All the while keeping that back nice and straight. Perfect. Can we come back through center just into a down dog? And on your next inhale, our right leg's going to lift up and back. And exhale, we're going to step between those hands. We'll drop that back knee. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand and we're going to connect that right hand to our left wrist. And we're going to trace up that left arm, left collarbone, right collarbone. And here, can we connect to that right shoulder and pull it back for a little bit more of a twist before raising our right arm up high. Perfect. Your right palm can face towards the sky or towards the front of the room rather. And we will cartwheel that hand around that foot, lift that back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg's going to lift this time. Exhale, step between those hands, plant that back knee. And same thing, we're going to trace that hand with our left hand, so up that right forearm, bicep, collarbone, collarbone. When you get to that shoulder, can you press that shoulder back to increase that twist? And then raise that left hand. And breathe. Palm towards the front of the room. Cartwheel that hand. Lift that back knee. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll go to plank pose. Exhale in one straight line, or you can drop your knees first. We're just going to lower all the way down. Inhale. We're going to take a cobra pose, whatever cobra looks like for you today, however high or low you need to be. Breathe here. Open up through that back. And on your exhale, can you extend forward and down? Press up through tabletop. Curl those toes. Inhale and breathe. And exhale, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Now, can we begin to pedal out those knees and turn that pedaling of those knees into a very slow, mindful walk to the top of the mat for a forward fold. From here, can we bend our left knee and plant that left hand? And can we begin again to trace up that left hand and twist in this forward fold? Looking up towards the sky. And we can reverse it. So we'll bend that elbow, connect to the shoulder, trace all the way back down to the ground, straighten that left knee, bend the right, keep the left straight, and then trace that right arm all the way up, twist, hand to the sky. And reverse it, connect to the shoulder, trace down, forward fold. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift all the way up. Hands at your side, Tadasana. And here, can we check in with our body? From the top of our crown to the base of our feet, how are you doing? Without judgment, as we begin to flow. On our inhale, our arms will come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we will fold. Inhale, we will step our right leg back. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg's going to lift. Exhale, step between those hands. Inhale, we will twist towards that knee, so just raising that right arm up. Exhale, plant that hand, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, arms come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, left leg's going to step back for a low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lifts on your inhale. Steps between those hands on your exhale. Left hand lifts and twists on our whatever the next breath is. Exhale and plant those hands. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, arms come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, right leg will step back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plank pose, fill up. Lower halfway or all the way for chaturanga, or lower all the way down. Inhale, raise that heart. Exhale, raise those hips and pause here. Can we take those feet forward and together about an inch? Lift onto the balls of those toes. Bend those knees. Look between your hands. And in one hop or mini, can we hop to a forward fold? Inhale, we will connect our hands to our shins. Halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come out and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Your left leg's going to step back on an inhale, low lunge. You'll step that right leg back to meet it, downward facing dog. Plank pose on your inhale. And lower on your exhale. Raise that heart on your inhale. Raise those hips on your exhale. Now pause here and breathe. Can we bring those feet together and forward about an inch? Lift onto the balls of those toes. Bend those knees. Look between your hands, and however you need to, get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come out and up. Exhale, hands at your side, Tadasana. Perfect. Let's build a little flow together, guys. Inhale, arms come out and up. Exhale, we will fold. Now here, can you bend those knees, plant those hands, look back behind you, and in one hop or many, can we get to a downward facing dog? Now here, you can stay here and breathe, or if you want that challenge, inhale to plank pose. Exhale and lower. Raise your heart on your inhale. Raise your hips on your exhale. Okay, inhale, right leg's going to lift. Exhale, we will step it between those hands. And now let's plant that back knee and walk our body up. We're going to prep for a warrior two. So what we're going to look for is a straight back leg with that back edge of our foot planted and pressed into. The front toes should be perpendicular to the short edge of our mat. And we are aiming for, with that front knee, 90 degrees. Now here, I always like to just take my little fingers and just boop, open up my hips just a little bit more. Inhale, our arms will come straight up. Exhale, we will press into the sides, looking over that front middle finger. And just breathe here. As you're here, can you begin to take your pinkies back about a millimeter, both of them, just back. and breathe. We'll flip that front palm towards the sky. Inhale to a peaceful warrior. So tilt back and really feel the elongation through your side body. And as you're here, can you straighten that front leg? And without losing the stretch in your side body, can we hinge forward to a triangle pose? So we're reaching for either our ankle, our shin, whatever with that bottom foot or with our bottom hand. And let's take that top hand. And here, can we begin to trace that arm one more time before reaching straight up? And as you're here, can we feel the power through our legs to give us that height through that hand? Yeah. 2 more breaths. Palm towards me. And can you make a rainbow with that hand and really reach forward towards me and feel that side body stretch through your left side? Before continuing that cartwheel of your hands, plant around that front foot, step that front foot back, downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. We'll inhale, lift that left leg whenever you're ready. Step between those hands on your exhale. We'll plant that back foot and begin to walk our torso up. Now let's check back in with our base first, making sure that we are pressed into that back edge of that foot. Checking in with those toes to make sure that they are perpendicular to the short edge of our mat. Aiming for 90 degrees with that front knee. Let's just open up that front knee just a smidge. Inhale, our arms will come up. Exhale and press. You should be active through your feet, through your legs, through those arms. And then look over that left hand now. As you breathe, can you press those pinkies back a millimeter? Boop. Hell yeah. Turn that palm towards the sky. Inhale, peaceful warrior, feeling that side body stretch through your left side. Straighten that left leg without losing that length. Triangle pose. So we are reaching with our left hand to our ankle, our shin, whatever we can reach, keeping that length through our torso, and we'll trace that arm, collarbone, and lift up towards the sky. Palm towards me, and reach forward, and feel that side body stretch. Before completing that cartwheel, planting both hands around that front foot, stepping that front foot back, downward facing dog. Now, stay here and breathe, or if you want a challenge, we'll inhale to a plank pose. Exhale and lower. Inhale, raise that heart. Exhale, raise those hips. So we'll start the same. We will inhale, lift that right leg up. Exhale, step it between those hands. Inhale, warrior two, all the way up. Press. And just make a little adjustment. Flip that palm towards the sky. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Straighten that leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Now, staying where you're at, can we begin with our arms still straight up towards the sky? Can we begin to bend that front knee and reach for either a block or the ground on the outside of that foot with a bent knee? And then palm towards me and reach for an extended side angle pose. Two more breaths. You're doing great. Can we swipe that hand down in front of us and walk our hands to the middle of our mat, parallel our feet for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, we will halfway lift. Exhale and fold completely. Now you can stay here and breathe, or you can begin to bend that right knee and reach your right hand for that left leg, either your shin, your calf, your ankle, whatever you can reach. And can you lift that left hand up towards the sky? Get a little pretzel-y. If you're here and you want a little bit more of a challenge, what happens if you straighten that right leg? And breathe. Slowly unwind back to that wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold completely. We can walk our hands back to the front. Twist those feet so that they are pointed forward. Step that front foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg's going to lift. Step between those hands on your exhale. And inhale to warrior two. Breathe here. Flip that palm towards the sky. Inhale, tilt back, peaceful warrior. Straighten that front leg. Exhale to triangle pose. We're keeping our arms where they are, keeping our legs where they're at. Really, where we're going, like I said, we're just going to bend that front knee and reach for the outside of that leg. Once you're there, yep, you can reach for a block. Once you're there, palm towards me, and reach, and still press into that back foot for extended side angle pose. Can we swipe that hand in front of us? Walk to the middle of our mat. Parallel those feet for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Now stay here and breathe, or if you want a little bit of a challenge, can we bend that left knee? Reach that left hand for our right leg, and to reach our right arm up towards the sky. If you're different on this side, proud of you. If you want more of a challenge, straighten that left leg. See what happens. When you know that you are balanced, we can unwind back to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Step that front leg back, down dog. Stay here and breathe, or inhale to plank pose. Exhale and lower. Raise your heart on your inhale. Raise your hips on your exhale. Now, can we take those feet together and forward about an inch? Lift onto the balls of those toes, bend those knees, look where you're going, and get to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale, arms will come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands at our sides, Tadasana. Check back in, grab a drink of water. I need one. How are we doing?
I'm glad you suggested drink water.
Me too. Take your time. When you're ready, we'll just come back to a Tadasana. Okay. We're going to start by planting into our right foot. With our right foot planted, we will lift that left knee into our chest. If this is a lot for you, stay here. If you want more, we can reach for that left foot and place that left foot onto our right thigh, pressing our right inner thigh into our left foot for that balance. Hands come to prayer. If this is enough for you, stay here. Or your hands can lift all the way up. Again, if this is a lot for you, stay here. Or if you want even more of a challenge, can we take that left hand to kind of relax on that left knee and side bend to the left, opening up that right side body. Inhale back through center, hands together up top. Bring that prayer into your heart, unwind that knee, and kick it back to a warrior one setup. So we will just kick that foot straight back. We can pump that front leg if we need, just to work it out. What we're looking for is hips as forward as possible. We'll bend into that front knee. We'll take those arms forward and up. Warrior one. From here, can we straighten that front leg? And just like we have been doing with that triangle pose, with all of those other poses, we're going to take this left hand and either for a block or for the ground outside. So front leg straight, hands are up. We're going to take this left arm and reach forward first, reach, and twist to connect with that block on the outside of that front foot. Keeping both legs straight, keeping those hips as forward as I can. And if this is a lot for you, stay here. If you want a little bit more, can we begin to trace up that arm one more time with our right hand, tracing up that left arm all the way up to that right shoulder, and lift that right hand towards the sky for a revolved triangle pose. Keeping active through those legs and twisting through that core. And can we think about those obstacles, those people in our life, those things that we need to look at from a different perspective? Begin to ask our unconscious minds how to approach those. 2 more breaths. For you can reverse it, bringing those right fingertips down to the right shoulder blades, tracing all the way back down. We can reach for both blocks and fold over a pyramid pose to let it all go. Perfect. Can you step that left foot forward, bringing those blocks in front of you, using them to kind of keep your back nice and straight for this halfway lift. On our inhales, keeping our back where it is, trying to keep our hips and back in line, keeping a nice straight back. On our inhales, can we just bend those knees to lower the hips? And exhale and just push those hips up. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, push those hips up. One more time, inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, push those hips up and fold over your feet completely. Release the grip of your toes. Give yourself a nice big hug. Let that head drop. And when you're ready on your next inhale, arms will come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, hands at your side. One more time on the other side. We'll plant into that left foot, and we will pick up that right knee. Hug it into our chest. If this is a lot for you, stay here. Or we can take that right foot into our left thigh. The inner thigh should be pressing into the foot for that counterbalance. Hands at our heart together. stay here, or lift all the way up with those arms, stay here, or right arm will connect to the right leg and we'll side bend to the right, feeling the stretch through our left side body. Inhale, we will come straight back up, hands up to the sky. Exhale, take that prayer to your heart. Unwind that knee and step back for a warrior one setup. Again, we can pump out that front leg just to let all of that stuff go. We'll come back to a bent knee. We will point our hips as forward as they can go. Inhale, arms will come straight forward and up. Warrior two. Your next inhale, we will straighten that front leg. Reach, reach, reach with that front arm for a block on the outside of that left foot or for the ground. Stay here and twist, or trace that arm all the way up. Collarbone, collarbone. Twist for a revolved triangle pose. And breathe. 2 more breaths here. And let's reverse it. Hand to our shoulder, all the way down. Reach for that other block. And fold over, pyramid pose to let it all go. Perfect. We can step that right leg forward. Bring those blocks in front of us to act as our flat back. And same thing here, we will inhale and bend those knees. Exhale, lift those hips. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, lift those hips. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, lift those hips and fold completely, giving yourself a hug. If you took opposite arms on the other side, or if you took shoulders, can you switch which arm is on top? Nice. Maybe shake your head yes. And no if that feels good. And yes again, because we always end on a positive note. And on your next inhale, our arms will come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. And check back in. What is your body feeling? Without judgment. What is different? What's the same? Is headstand in your practice? Hell yeah.
The other one. The French and the Dutch. Yeah.
So we're going to take a one-way trip to a wall. Yeah, mat 2. Mat and then maybe a blanket. And I'm going to demonstrate first, and then we'll get into it together. How does that sound? Hell yeah. So I'm going to set, perfect. Love this already. Okay. Headstand is already in our practices. Hands are going to come together and behind our head, just like they were in the very beginning. And that same movement like we were on the ground. So this same movement, this one, and this one is the movement that we're looking for, but with straight legs. So how we're going to set up is we are going to hands come together just in front of the baseboards. You don't want them touching the baseboards. We will plant our head and use those hands to cup behind that head. Pull those elbows in. Tuck your shirt so that you don't flash anybody. Pull those elbows in together. Curl those toes, lift those hips, and begin to walk towards the wall. Now, if headstand is not in your practice, stay here. If it is, can we kick up into a headstand? And if this is a lot for you, we'll stay here. However, if you want to practice that revolution in headstand, what I'm going to do is I'm pressing into my right forearm to twist to the left. I'll come back through center, press into my left forearm to twist to the right. Back through center, and slowly come out of it. Our rest pose after this will be a forward fold with our butt on the wall. Okay. Hands cup behind your head. Yep. Beautiful. Yeah. And as you're here, notice what has to activate that's different from this perspective. Check in again to those obstacles, to those people, to those situations. You need to look at from a different perspective. Maybe take it one more time on each side. And whenever you're ready, make sure that you're breathing. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly come back through center and then back down. And we will forward fold with our butt against the wall. And breathe. Do you two have one more twist in you? Hell yeah. Okay. Let's make our way down to the ground. And we will have our legs straight out in front of us. I have tight hips, so I like to sit up on a blanket, but that's just me. We're going to take our legs out straight in front of us, and we'll straddle however much we want to straddle. Let's start with everybody tap on your left leg. Cool. We're going to take that foot into our right thigh. We're going to bring our arms out, palms towards the sky. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So that right arm will come onto that knee. That left hand will come behind us. Same thing like the beginning. On our inhales, can we lift a little bit through our spine? And exhale, can we twist a little bit more? Now, if this feels like a lot, stay here. If you've got more in you, inhale without losing that twist, just lift that left arm straight up. And now you are a right triangle. Your toes and your fingers, there's a line there. And what we want to do is keeping that line, we're just going to follow it so that our left hand reaches for those right toes. And you can stay here, or you can unhook that right hand and bring the elbow of your right hand to the thigh to increase that twist to look underneath your armpit. And breathe into your left side body, looking up underneath that armpit, looking at all of your obstacles and challenges from a different perspective. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, unwind. Take that left leg out. Right sole of our foot to our left thigh. Arms come to the side, palms to the sky. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen through that spine. Exhale and twist a little bit more. Keeping that twist, inhale, lift that right arm. Exhale, right arm to left toes as much as possible. Now stay here or unhook that left hand and bring that elbow to the left thigh and look underneath that armpit. Breathing into the right side body here. Inhale, we will lift back up. Exhale, unwind. Bring both soles of your feet together. Inhale, we will lift. Exhale and fold. Moving slowly, we press back to raise one vertebrae at a time. And we will set up for a final relaxation pose. Two options. You can take Shavasana, straight on the ground with whatever props you may want, or personal favorite, you can take legs up the wall. And if you need any other little movements before you get into that, please take them. Hell yeah. For this final relaxation pose, what I want for you to do is I want you to arrive wherever you are with 3 deep breaths. In through your nose, sigh out your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, sigh out your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and let everything go. And I want your unconscious mind to follow along with the music and play out whatever story it is that you need to start living your best, most authentic life after you leave this room. I will hold this space. Know that you are able to wiggle or move, but enjoy. I'll call you out of it when it is time. If you have the gift of time, I encourage you to stay here as long as you need. However, if you're ready to take on any obstacle, looking at them from any different direction, knowing that you can overcome anything, we can begin by expanding our inhales and our exhales, bringing movement into our fingers and toes. If your legs are up the wall, slowly moving at your own best pace, bend those knees into your chest. And wherever you are, can we roll over to one side into a fetal position and pause here, connecting that top arm, that top hand to the ground. And imagine that there is a line of energy that connects from you through the ground, down the stairs, and out that front door to the very first tree. Down those tree roots into the center of the earth. And take in a deep breath of love and gratitude. Exhale, send it to Mother Earth. Moving slowly, use that hand to push you up to a nice, comfortable seat. And as we arrive here, taking one hand over heart center, the other over your core, taking in one more deep breath of love and gratitude. Exhale, send it to yourself. I want to thank you both for showing up for yourselves today. The light that is within me sees, acknowledges, and humbly bows to the light that I know is within each of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take your time. No rush.